Hey folks, Nas here. In Medieval Dynasty, we've got another tips and tricks video. Matter of fact, this is going to be the updated version of the vendors list because since some of the most recent updates, they've added more items to some of the vendors around in the different towns. So this is actually going to be a list of those vendors and items per town. So first off, we're going to be going to Gostovia. Alrighty folks, coming into Gostovia, one of the first vendors you'll probably run into is going to be right over here. He's sneaking around the building right now. Sobomir. Sobomir sells egg, meat, animal feed, and fertilizer. Now as you can see, they also sell cows here. And then I'm not sure if they sell calves here or not. Yes, right here. Here's a calf right there. So they got cows and calves. And then across the little walkway here, they also have geese, goslings, and let's see, I believe that is going to be it. They don't have any more animals in Gostovia. Then we're going to go off and we're going to see Unigost, which is going to be your first quest giver. And Unigost, he sells the bag, the scythe, the simple bag, the water skin, flax, flaxstalk, and linen thread. Then we are going to go off and visit, let's see, who is right up here? So the vendor lady is right here. Now granted, she's not in the tavern, but she sells flatbread, gruel, meat with gravy, porridge, pottage, soup, stew, salt. She also sells some seasonal items, which are apple, cherry, pear, and plum. Next, we are going to go see Adelina, who is looking like she is going to be right in here. Now, Adelina, she's going to be the first seed vendor that you run into when you start your game. She sells carrot seed, flour, onion seed, rye grain, straw, and wheat grain. Now, the next little town that we're going to be hitting is going to be Borowo. We'll head over there real quick. Over in Borowo, we've got Falibor. Now, Falibor, he sells the cudgel, stone knife, wooden spear, bucket, stone axe, stone hoe, wooden hammer, wooden shovel. Our next vendor is actually right here in the same house. Ida. Now Ida sells egg, animal feed, and feather. Now she wanders about town just a little bit. Then also in Borowo they sell some animals. And those are right up here at the top of the hill. So they sell the chick, which is right there, little bitty guy, and chicken, right there. And the next place that we're going to be heading off to is actually going to be right up here. There's no actual title or name, but the hunting lodge is right there, and we're going to be talking with the hunter Sambor. Now, something to point out, when you're on the road, on the way to Sambor, let me show you here. There's a little pond right here. This is my character where the little arrow is, but there's a little pond right there, and just off the roadway is a crashed cart. Matter of fact, you can see where the fence has been broken, and then right down here is a cart that is crashed, and in that cart are some free items. You're going to have a water skin, which is always inside the cart, and then there's going to be a couple of arrows, iron bolts. So there's usually one there in the ferns and then one right below the fern here. Every now and then there's going to be a third one around here, but it's usually up around this tree. There's also a coif. There is a coin pouch. And then down the hill just a little bit farther right here is a wagon wheel, or a wooden wheel. Kind of give you a different view there. this is something good that you want to try to visit this area daily if you can for some of these free items, because you can sell them. So the coif you can pick up. You can pick up the coin, which I think is just 1 coin. Oh, actually it was 51 coins. Very nice. You can pick up the wagon wheel, the wooden wheel, sorry, and the iron bolt. And that iron bolt, I only see 2 iron bolts, but sometimes there's usually one like right down in here. Then we're going to go around here and we'll pick up this water skin. Now I'll open my inventory. And you can see we picked up the water skin. Now the wooden hammer we already had, the torch we already had, but there's the iron bolts. We picked up 2 of those. There's the coif. Now you can wear that if you want, or you can sell it, and I'll show you what it costs at the vendor in just a moment. And then of course there's the wooden wheel, and then of course we've got some coins. And it was 1 coin, because you start with 50 coins in the game, so it was only 1 coin. Alrighty, let's finish heading off to Sambor. Alrighty, we are coming up on the hunting lodge now, and there is Sambor headed off to go do some hunting. So let's go talk to him. Show me your wares. Alrighty, so Sambor sells the bow, the longbow, wooden spear. He also sells a water skin, stone arrow, wooden bolt, dried meat, regular meat, or raw meat, salted meat. He also sells feathers and fur, and if you scroll down just a little bit, he also sells leather. Now that water skin that we picked up, that sells for 35 coins right now. Now this is a very fresh game. There's no buffs or anything to give me a higher sell price or anything, so these are the base prices of the game. The iron bolts sell for 7 coin each. The coif sells for 18 coin, and then the wooden wheel sells for 11. So you can actually get you a fairly decent amount of coin just from those items from the crash cart if you're coming up to see Sambor. Alrighty, so our next town that we are going to go hit to see vendors is going to be Baranica, right here. And as you can see, we just take this little road straight over to Baranica. Coming up into Baranica, the only vendor that they actually have is Norbert. So if we talk to Norbert, he sells cabbage, animal feed, cabbage seed, fertilizer, and wool. Now also in Baranica, they sell animals, so you could actually buy animals. And the animals that they sell are up here, usually around this little fold here. So they sell sheep, they sell a ram, and then they also sell a lamb, which I don't see one right now. Oh, they're inside. Yeah, they sell a lamb right there. Alrighty. So the next village that we are going to head off to is going to be Branica. Alrighty, so in Branica, again, there's only 1 vendor, and she runs the little sewing hut here. As you can see, she sells quite a bit more stuff. Now she sells a bag, simple bag, a hood, a pouch, which these items are going to be increasing your inventory. Right here, down at the bottom, you can see it adds 6 kilograms weight limit. So she sells the pouch, the simple backpack, the simple small backpack, the small pouch, a tunic, flax, flax grain, flax stalk. If you scroll down some more, she also sells linen fabric, linen thread, wool fabric, and wool thread. So she sells quite a bit. So this is a lady that you're probably going to want to make friends with. That way you can come and start increasing your inventory of your character. Alrighty, we are coming into an unnamed village, and I'll show you where again on the map. Right here where my cursor is. So here, again, they only have 1 vendor, and he is right here, Rajmund. Now Rajmund sells meat, animal feed, fertilizer, rye grain, and straw. They also sell pigs in this little town, which are all in here sleeping. So we've got the hog, we have the pig, and piglet. Alrighty folks, Next town that we're going to be going off to is Rolnica. Alrighty folks, we're coming into Rolnica, and there are 2 vendors here. And then our first vendor looks like she is right here, Tamira. Now, Tamira sells egg, meat, animal feed, and fertilizer. And our second vendor is headed out here somewhere. Where'd he go? There he is. He's headed out to work in the field. So let's talk to Nader. Now Nader sells some seeds, but he sells beetroot seed, which is some we haven't seen yet. He sells carrot seed, oat grain, rye grain, and straw. So that way you can actually come to visit him and get some different grains and seeds as well. Now here in Rolnica, they also have some animals that they sell. So if we go back over here to the fold or the animal pens, they also sell pigs, hogs, and piglets. Piglet right there. And then back behind here, they sell, let me see if I can get around the fence right. They sell chickens and then chicks right there. Little guy right on the ground. Now our next town that we are going to head off to is Denica right here. Alrighty, coming into Denica. Let's see, where are the vendors? You have 2 vendors here. First we have Dagobert right here. Now Dagobert sells animal feed, beetroot seed, cabbage seed, fertilizer, and straw. Then we have another vendor, which should be right in here. She's the sewing vendor, Matilda. Now Matilda sells a lot of things just like the last vendor that we saw over in Branica. Matilda sells bag, simple bag, hood, pouch, simple backpack, simple small backpack, small pouch, tunic, flax, flax grain, flax stock, linen fabric, linen thread, wool fabric, and wool thread. Also in Denica, they sell animals. So you can come over here and you can again buy the ram, the sheep, and the lamb. You can also buy a male goat and a female goat. Now the next village that we're going to go off to is Lesnica, right over here on the far left side of the map here. Alrighty, coming into Lesnica, we've got 2 vendors here. Our first vendor is going to be Teobald. Now Teobald sells an iron axe, iron hammer, pickaxe, scythe, shearing scissor, and iron arrows. So if you're going to be buying any iron tools or weapons, then Teobald is one of the gentlemen that you're going to want to talk to. Now our other vendor is headed out the gate over here, Gazella. Now Gazella, she sells iron spear, longbow, the recurve bow, stone spear, wooden spear, water skin, stone arrow, wooden bolt, dried meat, raw meat, feathers, fur, and leather. So she is a hunter, just like Sambor at the hunting lodge, but she sells a couple of different types of arrows a couple of different types of bows than he does. Our next village that we're going to head off to, we're going to run all the way up here to Jezerica. Alrighty folks, we are coming into Jezerica. And again, there are 2 vendors here. I believe our first one just went right over here. Now she again is the lady that runs the tavern. Niluba, I believe. So again, just like our first tavern lady in Gostovia, she sells flatbread, gruel, meat and gravy, porridge, pottage, soup, stew, and salt. She also sells seasonal items that are apple, cherry, pear, and plum. Now our next vendor, let me see if I can find him. Yes, there he is. He's going to be down here by the water. Now this is a fishing village, so they've got the little fishing hut and stuff. So let's go over here and find our vendor who looks like he's going swimming. Bitomir. Now Bitomir sells the fishing spear, dried fish meat, raw fish meat, salted fish meat, and salt. And our next town that we're going to be heading off to is actually our last town we're going to visit, which is going to be Hornica, right over here. Alrighty folks, we are coming into Hornica. Let's see, who is our vendor here? Jan. Jan is their blacksmith here. So he sells the crossbow, and he's the only one that sells the crossbow so far in the game. He sells an iron knife, iron spear, iron axe, iron hammer, iron hoe, iron shovel, pickaxe, scythe, shearing scissors, iron arrow, and iron bolt. So again, if you're buying these items, Jan is your guy. And next we have, let's see, where is our next vendor? Looks like they're going to be over here and in the tavern. So we got Helga in the tavern. And again, just like all the other tavern ladies, flatbread, gruel, meat with gravy, porridge, pottage, soup, stew, salt, and then of course the available seasonal items of apple, cherry, pear, and plum. We have another vendor right over here, and she is going to be our last vendor in Hornica, Carolina. Now again, she is a sewing vendor. Now Hornica is like a big hub for a lot of items, so weapons and tools, and of course your food, and then pouches. So she also sells, just like the other sewers in the game, the bag, the simple bag, hood, pouch, simple backpack, simple small backpack, small pouch, tunic, flax, flax grain, flax stalk, linen fabric, linen thread, wool fabric, and wool thread. Now they currently don't have the large backpacks and large pouches at the vendors. Those have to be crafted in the game. But anyway, folks, that is the vendors list for Medieval Dynasty. And if you folks are enjoying these tips and trick videos or any of the other videos on my channel, please feel free to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. It definitely helps the channel when you do. And I will see you folks in the next one. You take care and happy hunting.